Hi guys, I'm live. I have a couple things to say, and then I want to do a music theory instruction video, a concept I've never talked about before, at least this exact thing. First of all, shout out to David Roth. Thank you for your advice, and I'll talk about that in a sec. But thank you for liking my dance to Where Have All the Good Times Gone. That means a lot to me. Thank you for liking that. And thank you for liking my guitar tricks. I'm working on perfecting them and expanding them. I want to do other things, and I want to get better at the things I do. And I love doing guitar tricks. And like the guitar behind the head thing. Terrence Montgomery called today. Thank you for calling, Terrence. He said, "Well, how can the audience see you with your head, with your guitar behind your head? Well, I can turn my back to the audience and they can see the guitar." So he said, "Oh, that's a good idea." See. Also, David wants me to stand up more when I play. I that's what I like too. I had started sitting down because it seemed to feed the algorithm of YouTube. In other words, if I sit down, it seemed like I got more views. But if I have to make the choice, I'm going to stand up because David D. Roth wants me to. So I hope I still get the views. I hope it doesn't ruin the algorithm that I'm not sitting down, because I need to be practicing to play on stage, and you don't sit down on stage. You run around. In fact, you don't even stand in one place. So I'm going to try standing up for my daily shreds right now. So hopefully that works. And plus, it's more of a real live situation to be standing up. And I'm still working on my calisthenics. Thank you for liking the jump rope, David. I can do better though, and I'm still going to go to Denise's and have her hold my feet down so I can do some good sit-ups, more than I've done with barely my toes underneath a little thing of a table. I think with my feet held down, I can do better, because I'm not just pressing on little toes when I try to do the sit-up. But thanks for everything. And and one more thing, David suggested. Don't be such a wimp about my haters, And in fact, me and Terrence talked about this, and we thought, why don't I focus on the positive? If some people like me, why am I focusing on the haters as much as I do? And so I'm going to work on that, David. I'm going to work on everybody has haters, but is the glass half full or half empty? Well, half empty. Well, it's both, but you can focus on one or the other. So I'm going to work on trying to focus on the people that like me more than the people that hate me. So I'm working on that. Point noted. And let me just start by, trying that. Thank you for people that love me and like me, and I really appreciate it. Get a lot of energy from you guys, and thank you. Now for the music theory lesson. This is an interesting topic. I haven't heard this. I have not heard this talked about, nor have I, but I've thought about it. So here goes. I saw something similar in a magazine in like '95 or something that alluded to this idea, but I'm expanding on it and making it more public right now. Okay, so I want to talk about the chromatic scale as a circle versus the circle of fifths. It doesn't get talked about much, but let's just do our work. Let's say just pick C at the top at north. So C is 0 o'clock, or not 1 o'clock, because 1 would be C sharp. It's 12 o'clock / 0 o'clock. So C is on top, and then you can start a C chromatic scale around the circle, and you can start a C circle of fifths around the circle, or at least a circle of fifths starting on C. And this is interesting how I think of this. So if I do a C chromatic scale starting on C at the top, I get C, C sharp, D, E flat, E, F, F sharp, G, A flat, A, B flat, B, C, counterclockwise in chromatic scale. If I do the circle of fifths starting on C, clockwise, I get C, G, D, A, E, B, F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, E flat, B flat, F, and C. So that's the circle of fifths. Wait, G sharp, C. We should go right. F, G, B flat. That's correct. Circle of fifths. Okay. Now, what's interesting about comparing these two, the circle of Anyway, back to the video. Sorry about that, guys. I got a call. Interesting about the chromatic scale versus the circle of fifths. I think I did the circle of fifths wrong. Let me do it again. I got another call. I got another call, but I'm back live now. So I did the circle of fifths right, correct? Yeah, I did. Okay, so the circle of fifths and the chromatic scale are identical in 6 notes of it. A whole tone scale starting on C will support a circle of fifths starting on C or a chromatic scale starting on C. So in other words, C, then to the right, D is in both the chromatic scale and the circle of fifths. Then C, D, E also is in the chromatic scales starting on C and also the circle of fifths starting on C. C, D, E, F sharp is in both. C, D, E, F sharp. G sharp is in both. C, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A flat is in both, and then finally the whole tone scale starting on C, which is C, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, B flat, then C, which is a C whole tone scale, is in both the circle of fifths and the chromatic scale starting on C. So another way of looking at that is every other note of the chromatic scale in the circle of fifths is the same. It's only the notes that are every other odd between that are different. And how are they different? Well, they differ by being replaced by the note a tritone away in either case. So C, G, D becomes C, which is circle of fifths, becomes C, C sharp, D. But D sharp is a tritone away from G, because if you start in G, D sharp is a C sharp. I mean, if you start in G, C sharp is a tritone away. If you start in C sharp, G is a tritone away. So C, then C sharp, D. All you do is the first 3 notes of a chromatic scale, starting on C. You get the other 6 notes that are different in each of the 2 scales, circle of fifths and circle and chromatic scale, are just another 6 note whole tone scale that is the mirror image of the whole tone scale that's in the other of them. So since I'm in C at the top, north, the chromatic, the whole tone scale that is not in either, that's not in both the whole tone scale and the chromatic scale, is C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, G, E sharp, E sharp, G. No, that's not true. Wait. C sharp, D sharp, F, G. Yeah, A, B, and C sharp. Yes, that's the 6 notes that are different from in the C chromatic scale and the C circle of fifths. So you just take that whole tone scale I just said and flip it 180 degrees. Another way of looking at that is geometrically. So if I start with a chromatic scale in a circle, if I take a 12-pointed star, like you can make a star out of that thing. You take a C, and then go to G, then D, then A, then E, then B, then F sharp, C sharp, E sharp, E flat, B flat, F, and then back to C. That is a circle of fifths, and every that's a 12-pointed star. That would make a 12-pointed star if you did what I just said on a diagram of a chromatic scale. See at the top. And then if you did, and what's interesting is if you take a C, first true. If you take a C, if you take a circle of fifths starting C, you'll see at the top. If you do a 12-pointed star, you get C, C sharp, D, E flat, E, F, F sharp, G, A flat, A, B flat, B, C. So they each have a 12-pointed star to get the other one, and then back if you do another 12-pointed star back to the one you started with. And that 12-pointed star idea is interesting. I think it's interesting, geometry-wise, and it's just good to know when you're about those two things. So, one more example, and then I think I'll be good. There's such a thing as a tritone sub in music. If I have a G dominant seventh chord, that would be G, B, D, and F. Well, the tritone in that chord is B and F. The notes B and F. But then B and F also make the tritone in a chord that would be C sharp dominant seventh. C sharp dominant seventh is C sharp, F, A flat, B, and then C sharp. And that has as well has the an F and a B in it. And therefore, since it has two tones in common with the G dominant seventh, you can play a C sharp dominant seventh instead of a G dominant seventh, or you can play a G dominant seventh instead of a C sharp dominant seventh, because they both have the tritone in common. So if I'm in jazz and I'm in the key of C, love you. If I'm in jazz and I'm in the key, if I'm in the key of C and I'm playing jazz, I could have a 2-5-1 progression, but it could be D minor seventh, G dominant seventh to C major seventh, 2-5-1, seventh chords. But the G dominant seventh can be replaced by a C sharp dominant seventh. So that then makes the progression D minor seventh, C sharp dominant seventh, C major seventh. So this type of thing, like 2-5 or style you like. You could even do, if you want to get wild, really wild, you could do an A for an E flat blues, because an A blues progression is A7, D7, E7. Well, that the mirror image of that, if I use a tritone sub, would be E flat 7, A flat 7, B flat 7, and back to E flat 7. A blues progression a tritone away still has the same tritones as for the three chords that make a blues progression. So that would be an extreme way of using it, but there's some more subtle ways, like in Elvis is Dead by Living Colour. Dun, 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 dun. Well, it's like a 5 dominant 7, 4 dominant 7 to sharp 4 dominant 7. But the sharp 4 dominant 7 is a substitute for the 1 dominant 7 because sharp 4 is a tritone away from 1. So you can literally make a blues progression into a chromatic slither. So if I were in D, I could go D dominant 7, C sharp dominant 7, E flat dominant 7, D dominant 7. That would be a 1-4-5, but instead of the 4 and the 5 are both substituted by their tritone sub, it becomes a chromatic just sliding up and down. But the basis of the progression, of the heart of it, is still there. So there's a relation between chromatic movement and circle of fifths movement. Even more so when you find chords that have like dominant chords that are substitutable by their tritone opposite, or tritone mate, or whatever you want to call it, can be super. Because remember I said that the only difference that the chromatic, like I said, the circle and the chromatic scale both have a whole tone scale in common. That other whole tone in between can be either or. It can be either the chromatic version, such as C, C sharp D, or the circle fifths version, such as C, D. And not only they similar geometrically, but even sonically, that middle chord can be replaced with its opposite, at least, if not more, but at least with dominant chords, dominant seventh chords, because of the tritone It's called common tone substitution. And so I think this is interesting. I hope this was. I've never talked about this. I've never heard it really talked about, and I've only read it back in like '95. I read an article that talked about the 12-pointed star in guitar player or something, but it didn't lay it out like I did, and it was just a geometrical thing that I looked at. Oh, that's cool, 12-pointed star. I put it in my brain, and now 30 years later, almost, I'm integrating it. And the same with the Pat Martino idea about the augmented triad. If you raise one note in an augmented triad, you get a minor triad. If you flatten one note in an augmented triad, you get a major triad. And I read that in 1995 also, but now I really integrating it into everything, and also a diminished seventh. If you raise any note